have reached the last night of our trip.
Yes, we have.
Well, today was our last day in Hawaii.
Last full day.
Last day. The sun's gonna rise and we're gonna be at the airport. So, woke up very early this morning because we wanted to get malasadas again one last time. So we took the bus over.
We were there 15 minutes later and there was already a line.
Yeah, it was about a 45-minute line, but we had gotten up so early that it was worth it to stand in it.
Well, by the time we got to it, that and I went over to get drinks at...
He did the Safeway run this time.
They were out of little carts, little things, little smaller things of milk. So I got just a quart to drink with it that we shared.
So we ate at the Panda Express outside tables again. It was very nice. Malasadas are still very delicious. You could definitely tell everywhere was busier today rather than last Saturday. It was like a completely different town.
Yeah, it's much busier. I don't know what it is.
More and more people traveling. So we ran back to the hotel, dealt with our poor little feet that have blisters and are just in agony.
Prepared them for a day of walking.
And then we hopped on the bus over to the Pearl Harbor Memorial. Not to go see the Arizona Memorial, because we already did that, but Phil wanted to take the tour of the USS Missouri.
Yep, I bought the tickets before. We weren't able to do it, so they already paid for it, and they were like, well, you can just use the tickets still.
So we went there. We had to use the bag drop because our plan was to go to the swap meet afterwards.
And this time I wanted to bring a backpack rather than
just a reusable bag.
Because that sucked.
So we used the bag check. It was $6 and some change. I love that they charge tax on bag drop, but that's a different story.
Tax on services.
Still ridiculous. And then we walked straight over to the line to get over to the Missouri. We boarded yet another Roberts bus, and it took us straight over there.
Yeah, 15 minutes straight over there. It was like, we got there, waited a few minutes, and then we went in there. And it was really fun. I enjoyed myself. Haley was not super into it, but...
I wasn't super into it, but it was important to Phil, so we went.
You should. I don't really have a connection to the Navy at all for just the Air Force, mostly, because my grandfather and his brothers. So
we toured it. They said to estimate for about 35 minutes, and we spent 2.5 hours.
Yeah, that includes a half-hour bus rides to and from.
Yep. So we did end up going to the gift shop. We had already gotten the magnet at the Pearl Harbor Memorial, but Phil got the pin.
I got the pin before of just the Pearl Harbor, or the Arizona Memorial. And this time I got the pin for the ship, Missouri. So that, we have both those.
The vibe's very different at the Missouri than it was at the Arizona.
Yeah.
It's much more of, it's okay to be a tourist, it's okay to have fun.
Yeah.
And not to be disrespectful by any means, but there isn't the pressure on the Missouri, on the emotion attached with the Missouri.
Yeah.
Though it is cool to see, okay, here's where everything was signed.
Yeah, the conclusion of World War II was on the deck up there.
So after we got back, after we left the Missouri, we went over to baggage claim, picked up the bags. Anything notable about that?
A woman in front of me was checking in a bunch. She did the
swap meet
first, and she had bought a bunch of tulips, or not tulips, orchids, and was checking all the live orchids, so I had to wait for them to baggage all those up.
I just think it's funny that someone checked in orchids as luggage.
They were totally cool with it. They charge you $6 too. Instead of the oversized
$10 one.
Yeah.
Then we hopped on the bus, the 2 stops over to the swap meet. And there was this bag that I saw at Hanauma Bay that was exactly like those thank you plastic bags where it says like thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, with one thank you in the middle, a different like color or bold, only it said mahalo. And so that was my mission at the swap meet, to find this mahalo, mahalo, mahalo bag. And we also got a little dress for the dogs. Once again, we only got one because realistically we're not going to get a photo of them together.
Nope, they're gonna have to stitch that one together.
Yes. So we got that. We hadn't gotten a large souvenir for ourselves yet. We had just gotten like little cute things. So I got my larger souvenir, which was a wooden turtle on a nice little stand that looks like wooden coral. I think that was $30.
Yeah.
And then
I got a conch, like one that actually makes sound. They had a they had one that really made some sound, but I wanted something that it wasn't as like sturdy looking, and I wanted something a little more sturdy looking as well.
That was fun. We started our new hobby, which is finding. I wanted to find some sort of Obama paraphernalia for my mom, and up until this point, I could only find bottle openers, which would be of no use to her. So we found a little dancing hula girl version of Obama. So that was $8.
That was with a guitar.
Ukulele.
Him playing ukulele.
So his top half goes like blah, 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 blah. Very fun. We went all the way to the ends on both sides of the market, which was lots of fun. It got too hot though. Today was definitely a lot hotter than it was last week.
Yeah, and we also...
Oh, we got that lemonade.
Yeah.
We got this infused lemonade that was $10 for...
It was in a big mason jar.
A giant mason quart jar. And it was great lemonade.
Yeah.
But...
It was worth it.
It kind of sucks walking around with a quart jar and they don't want it back.
I'm sure you could be like...
It was weird.
Yeah. And then, yeah, we, oh, so the Obama thing is, they have on the back of the package, because we found the one Obama rocker thing, it said, collect all 4. And it said Obama with a ukulele, Obama with a surfboard, Obama with a golf, or is it golf, and then Obama with a
shave ice.
Shave ice. And so we're like, well, we got to find them all. You know, these vendors.
It also says that it was manufactured in 2009.
Yeah. So these things they've been around swap meets for a while, and the vendors have been just holding on to them, and you could tell they're kind of towards the end of their
sellability.
Yeah,
for lack of a better term.
Yeah, because we went through they have so many vendors that have stupid Trump stuff, and it's like Trump has no connection to Hawaii except for he has a stupid tower here, and it's like, we wanted to actually do the president that was from here.
That actually has a connection.
Yeah, but whatever. So they, since they're so old, we looked and looked and looked, and we were able. So later, we'll continue, but we couldn't find it. We only found the one.
The one Obama one while we were there. While we were there, we also got 2 water bottles and a homemade popsicle, which was really more like a frizzy pop.
Yeah, it was.
Because it was a bag with like a little Ziploc top. But it saved us from dying. So.
Yeah, it was nice and cool.
So we ended up taking the bus. We had intended on going back to the hotel at this point because we had our stuff, we were tired and super hot.
So hot. It was really beaten down today.
And we were hungry because obviously all we had eaten were malasadas. So in a split-second decision, we saw Pestilence on the bus again.
Oh my god.
He had his mask off and he had one of those plastic tooth flosser things, and he was just like flossing his teeth and talking to anyone who dared to sit within his realm.
Yeah, and he was like using the backside of the flosser to pick at his teeth too.
Yeah. So gross.
So he was just had his mask completely off, just dangling from his ear, just flossing his teeth.
And this was for like 30 minutes. It was not a short amount of time.
It wasn't like, I ate some jerky.
I got a popcorn kernel or something.
No, it's, I'm gonna deliberately, methodically clean my teeth on this bus.
So,
And this time he was heading towards Waikiki, not away.
yeah. So, the Uber driver who dropped us off from Hanauma Bay yesterday gave us lots of tips, different things to do, but one thing she said was, do you guys like seafood? And we were like, yeah. She said, you gotta try Nico's at Pier 38.
N-I-C-O.
Yeah. And we didn't really have any concrete plans for today.
Yeah, we were just heading back to the hotel room. So, hey.
But I was hungry, and none of the food at the swap meet looked good. So all of a sudden I was like,
We
okay,
learned our lesson
Phil,
last
we're
time.
getting off. Yeah, that fried rice was awful. We're getting off at, I don't even remember the street.
Yeah,
Nimitz and Pier 36.
Yeah, she just looked it up, and it just happened to be like
On the bus
10
route.
stops away from us on the bus route.
So we hopped off. It was a little confusing to find the front door, but we found it.
Yeah, we got dropped off towards like the loading docks, and it was just on the other side of the building.
We found it. They do offer dine-in, however, it's pretty much just takeout with tables.
Yeah, you just there's a lady coming around cleaning and stuff, but it's like you serve yourself.
You order at a front counter, they give you a buzzer, and you come and pick it up when your food is ready.
Yep, and you go to a table, and they had a bunch of tables open outside underneath umbrellas. They had
Directly next to the water.
Yep, they had a couple that were inside, but we didn't see them until after we had already sat down.
And there also was a gentleman who was singing live. He was singer-songwriter vibes, and he was singing in Hawaiian. And we ordered
he was very good at it.
Yeah, he was super chill. We ordered the catch of the day, which was this Cajun swordfish, and also some fried ono, which is just traditional Hawaiian fish. And honestly, that was probably the best meal we had on this trip.
It had a sauce. It was like a lobster shrimp sauce.
Where's my phone? I have it saved. Oh, it's over there.
For the
It was a lobster
swordfish.
shrimp bay sauce over the Cajun swordfish, and it was just magical.
Fantastic.
And then the ono actually had that same tomato stuff on it, the lomi salmon, that we didn't like last night at the Highway Inn.
Yeah, but it was so much better this time.
We ate every piece of tomato, and we don't like tomato.
Yeah.
I say we because Phil and I both don't like tomato super much.
Yeah. So it was oh wow. It was like I was so sad I ate all the swordfish.
There was even, I don't like salad dressing, and they gave me a little salad because I don't like mac salad, and I even ate the salad with salad dressing on it, which is unheard of.
Yeah, she liked that. It was pretty good. And I had the mac salad, which was decent.
We got some creme brulee cheesecake, which
We should have eaten first.
Yeah, because it was warm by the time we ate it, so it was kind of just like, eh.
It was. You could tell it probably would have been better cold.
Definitely would have been better cold, but it still wasn't anything to write home about. But the food itself was just the best food we ate on this trip.
She sent me to go sit at a table so no one else would take and there's some tables available, but we didn't want to like go through the line and like go out there and there be no table, so I went and sat down and she finished ordering and got the drinks and stuff. Mitt Romney.
Yeah, we had a gentleman on the bus out to Pearl Harbor who was...
The bus to Pearl Harbor was packed. They both were packed on the way there and back.
The bus to Pearl Harbor is also the same bus to the swap meet.
And
so there
all
was
those people going out there for...
There was a gentleman who looked a lot like Mitt Romney talking about his sailing competition and
yeah, he rode
all of his money.
Multi-million-dollar sailboat from California out to Hawaii. And they
when
had
he
a race.
arrived, there were flowers thrown onto the boat, and there was a lovely dinner.
Yeah, there was a family who adopted his boat or something, and like she made a lei for the entire size of the boat all around the outside, and it's like, what? Like, I get
the bus is the great equalizer, is the moral of this story.
With the...
he was dripping with money.
Yeah, this guy was like so affluent.
I'm surprised his family didn't take an Uber.
Yeah. But...
So that was...
Well, the thing is they would have had to pay for an Uber XL because there's 4 of them.
Yeah.
Because right now, since you can't sit in the front seat with the Ubers, you can only sit in the back. They only fit 3 people on the regular Uber X.
Okay.
So he would have had to pay for an Uber XL. And
if he can afford a sailing competition.
it was like $90 for an Uber XL when I looked at it. So he might have just said screw it and took a $5 bus.
So.
But he met like his BFF on the bus.
He like adopted this family that was sitting opposite of him.
And the guy kept asking questions.
Talking.
Well, he kept asking questions, and the one thing that really stuck with me is he was on the boat because he had grown up with sailboats, and I think he paid his way on this boat because the boat wasn't his, it was someone else's. But he had, I think he was there to fix stuff on the boat. That's what it sounded like, because you had the guy who owned the boat. Well, it was just him, the guy who owned the boat.
There's 41 people on the boat. I remember hearing that.
No, that was 41 people who participated in the race.
Oh. I was going in and out of consciousness.
She's trying to sleep around.
So boring.
But yeah, there was 41 people who, on all the yachts combined, because there's a bunch of yachts racing to Hawaii, and he made it in 15 days, which is his record. I don't know if that's good or not.
I don't know.
But he was supposed to be the one who fixed stuff, so he's talking about how he had to go up to the top of the mast and fix this hoist thing that had broken, and they broke.
He was the youngest person on the crew.
Yeah, so they sent him
at 58.
Yeah, and so they sent him up there to fix it, and they're talking about how they were doing like 20% pitches and stuff in the water because it was like, he called it washer machine water, which is very, I mean, that's what we experienced.
Yeah.
And so he was talking about being up there and throwing around, and they were talking about how they blew out 2 $5,000 sails like it was nothing. Like, oh, it was just too windy and we blew out the 2 sails. Like, these are $5,000 sails, and meh. And then he, at one point, so I got the gist that he was there to fix the boat.
Okay. I was asleep for
So there
most
was
of
a
this.
pipe that broke on the bilge pump. They had 2 of them. They have a bigger one, like takes over if it's, you know, they're in a storm or something, taking a lot of water. But they have a little one that just kind of turns on every once in a while. Well, that one, the exhaust pipe or the outlet pipe was technically underwater, broke, and so they had water coming in, and the big pump had to keep turning on. And they don't like that because I guess he was allergic or something. They just didn't like the big one turning on, and so he had to go and fix it, right? And his solution was a GoPro handle off one of the GoPro cameras to plug the hole.
See, I don't have a problem with
so
this.
that solution is good. It works. But here's the thing. Where's the corks? Traditional ships have wooden corks that are like, you know, triangle shaped that you put in a hole, and then you have a mallet that like, and then it pushes into the hole so it fits the hole. But no, and I was like, if you're the fixer guy, why don't you have these items that are for any ship?
I don't think he was the fixer guy. I think
I think
he was just a rich hootie who paid his way onto a boat. That's what I think.
I can't believe
anyway,
that multi-million-dollar boat would have been lost at sea because
I'm going to edit most of this out because this is painfully boring.
I love think it's boring, but I think it's ridiculous.
I think it's ridiculous too, but I think it's so boring. I'm falling asleep listening to you. So we made it back to the room, dropped off the items from the swap meet.
Oh, it was packed. It was so the bus that came. So there was a 20 that was like stuck right before our bus stop. Like for some reason I think it was doing a wheelchair or something. And so another 20 had to come up behind it, and so a normal place they'll have like a bus wait until they space them out, but here they'll just back to back the buses. So another bus behind had passed him, and so we're like, okay, we'll get on that bus. That bus was packed. Like
we've stood on buses before, but we were standing in the exit. There were old people standing. This was people soup is the only way to
and there was
describe
people who wouldn't let people sit down. It was like bad.
Everyone was miserable on the bus. It was hot, so we rode it for 2 stops and got off.
Yeah, we're stuffed beside the door anyway, so we just took 2 steps off, and then we waited 4 minutes for the next 20 to come by, and that one was beautiful.
Just like a normal
nice
bus.
And air conditioning. There was 7 people on board. It was nice.
Definitely a solid choice to get off that awful bus.
Yeah, but the pack bus had to pass him before.
So we got back to the hotel, charged our phones because those were almost dead, and we went to walk around. We also brought the